What's good, everybody? It's your boy Em, and in today's video I want to help you have the perfect start for Octopath Traveler 0. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get straight into this. So the first thing you want to know about is going to be the reputation system. There's 3 different reputation types in the game. You have fame, power, and wealth. Each character in all the different cities, worlds, are going to have some type of reputation attached to them. For example, this is going to be Freed. He is the watch captain, aka your father. When you speak to him, you can see what his affiliation is, and it's going to be power for him. Right above his name is going to be the power marker, and it says 1. If you want to know exactly where you stand with your reputation, it's going to be above your name as well. So I currently have 1 wealth, 1 power, and 1 fame as of right now. You're going to be able to increase this by doing different things throughout the world, and a little bit later in the prologue, we're going to be picking a path to go down to increase this. So we'll get into more of that in the next video. Regardless, every single person in the world has something to offer you, whether that be information, a secret item location, or some type of thing they have in their possession. For example, Freed here, your father, after speaking to him, you can see his possessions. He has a vacuum slice mastery, which is something that you will be receiving through the main story quest, so you don't really have to look out for this. It's automatic. But you'll contend with him, which means you fight him for that item. If you win, you get it, you're good to go. Right after you pick that up, you want to come over here to this house next door to you, and you want to walk inside. You can go ahead and talk to each one of these individuals, and you have a % chance of succeeding or failing when you inquire or talk to them and ask them for their possessions. If you actually are looking to repair your reputation to an area, I will take you to the tavern a little bit later on in this guide. But for now, you want to come up here and you want to talk to this lady right here. She has a couple of items that you're going to be on the lookout for. You're going to fight her, and she's going to give you a healing grape, a handkerchief, and a scrap of rope. These items can be sold for money, and of course the healing grape can heal you, so that's some pretty great things to go ahead and receive as early as possible. She's super easy to fight, and we're going to get into combat a little bit later on in this guide, but yeah, just go ahead and use a boost and you should be able to take her out, no problem. But once she's taken care of, you then want to come over here and talk to him. You're going to be able to buy something from this guy over here, which is going to be the Olive of Life. He's going to give you the Olive of Life, and it has a pretty interesting chance. For me, it was 86. It might be a little bit higher or lower for you, but if you fail it, go ahead and try again. But remember, you only have 5 reputation for the entire town, and once that goes all the way down, you're going to have to go to the tavern to repair it. Regardless, each individual in the world is going to have something to give you, whether that just be information about themselves and or a secret. This is going to be locked at the beginning of the prologue, but you want to run straight down over here and into this house right here. This is going to be the general store where you're going to be able to sell off all your items. So once you receive new items that you want to sell, go ahead and talk to the lady behind the counter, go to sell, and you can sell off everything that you received throughout your playthrough. Some key items that this lady is hanging on to are going to be things like the Olive of Life. This revives and restores HP of a fallen ally. That's pretty valuable in the beginning of the game. The Inspiriting Plum is going to restore SP for you, so if you have a little bit of extra cash on you, you might want to grab one of these. And the Healing Grapes are going to be very easy to come by, so you wouldn't have to buy any of them. But if you need some, you can go ahead and buy them here. All right. Running right over here to the left, inside of this house is going to be a chest, and there's going to be a healing grape, so don't forget to grab that. And then you want to come down here into the tavern. Once you enter into the tavern, you want to talk to this guy, and he's going to let you know about a secret location of cheap whiskey. Cheap whiskey can be sold in the general store for a decent amount of money, so you want to go ahead and do that as soon as possible. Then you want to fight this guy right here, because he's going to give you an item. The item that this guy has on him is going to be the leather armor. Once you have defeated him, you can go into your inventory, go to equipment, and then you can go ahead and equip all the different items that you receive to any character that is currently in your party. Now for me, I went ahead and equipped the leather armor in my body armor slot, and I replaced the current armor that I had. If you were looking for the leather helm, as well as these 2 items right here in the beginning of the game, you're going to be able to select your special item that you want to go ahead and carry into the game, and these are just 2 items that I went ahead and chose from the beginning. So it's a great idea to be very careful what you're choosing in the beginning game. You don't want to waste these. If they are going along with your build, if they're going to help you out, then it might not be a bad idea to go ahead and grab them. Once you've spoken to everybody, this is the tavern, so you can come right up to this beautiful lady right here, and you can go ahead and restore your reputation in town. You can change your skills, change your equipment, and change your party makeup. Now, since we're talking about party members, let's go ahead and talk about combat in this game. Once you come into this menu right here, you're going to be able to change the formation. Go ahead and click the indicator down in the bottom right hand corner of the screen, and then you'll be able to put your character in the front row or the back row. If the character is in the back row, they're going to restore SP and HP. If the character is in the front row, they're going to be ready to fight. If you have a character that you don't want to initially fight in the beginning, you want them to kind of be hanging in reserve, and then you want to be able to switch them out, you can go ahead and put them in this type of formation right here. For example, Malachi, my character, is going to be starting the fight. Stia is going to be the reserve, and then you can go ahead and switch this formation at any time within the fight. It's pretty awesome because you'll be able to get back SP and HP, especially when you're really cooked and you don't have a lot of it left for the rest of the fight. This could save your life. But if you want everybody on your team to be fighting at all times, go ahead and throw them all into the front row and you'll be good to go. Also, food effects. Your food effects will be shown right here. And anytime you receive some food, it might not be a bad idea to go ahead and check how many turns you have for that food. Remember, this is a turn-based game, so once you do engage into a fight with an enemy, it's all about speed and about power. You want to be trying to get as much weakness damage off as humanly possible, and there's a pretty interesting system in this game called BP, which is going to be your little battle point system. You're going to receive this every single time you don't use it for a turn, and the more you have of it, the more you'll be able to power up your next attack. You can actually use all of the BP that you stored in a single attack to do massive damage if you want to, and it's going to work very well against more difficult enemies or mini bosses that you will be seeing in the Prologue. Regardless, this guy right here is going to be another person that you definitely want to talk to. He has a leather helm, so you want to talk to him, go ahead and fight him, beat him, and you'll be good to go. Something you need to know about the save feature. So in the Prologue, we only had one save slot, but now we have 9. So you're going to be able to have multiple characters and or multiple saves running at one time finally, which is amazing. And I was a little worried when I first saw the game. I didn't think we would get that many save slots, but we have 9, so I'm very happy with that. Some other things in the city that you probably want to look out for are going to be these individuals over here. You're going to want to talk to this guy right here. Once you inquire with him, he's going to give you a location that's going to take you right up here for a special item. You don't want to be missing out on these things. And if you have a nourishing nut in your inventory, you might want to use that. That's going to be a huge HP boost to your character. Regardless, in the main city, that's going to be pretty much all the things that you can possibly do here. You're going to be able to get some extra information as well as some extra items from people that you inquire or talk to. So go ahead and do that. Clean them all out of everything that they have in their possession, and then go ahead and progress with the main story as you see fit. But just before we get out of here, let's go ahead and talk about your skills. When you learn a new skill in the game, you're going to have to use your JP in order to actually buy a new skill slot. But once you have bought that new skill slot, you'll be able to apply the different skills that you have learned already. You can remove things as well as add them in this menu, so make sure you're on the lookout when you receive a brand new action or skill so that you're always up to date. The status of all of your characters is on the main menu as well, so you want to be taking a look at that from time to time to make sure that everybody is in top shape. If they're not, you can actually run home and sleep in the bed to heal them at any time. Or you can just go to your healing skills and just heal your people on the fly, and then you just make sure that your healer is in the back row so that when you get into a fight, they can automatically get back that SP. That way you're not wasting it. While progressing through the main story, once you get to the nighttime portion of the Prologue, don't forget to come right here to talk to Time. He's going to give you the location of a Nourishing Nut, which is an item that increases your HP. One thing before we get out of here is going to be the fast forward, play, and pause feature. When you see any type of cutscene or when you're in dialogue with an individual, you can actually pause it, play it, or fast forward it. When you put it on the pause option, you're going to have to click the indicator in order for the conversation to continue. So if you have something that you're doing in the background like in real life and you don't want the conversation to continue without you pushing anything, all you have to do is put it on the pause option. If you put it on play, the game is naturally going to go at its own pace through all the dialogues and all that stuff. So that's just something that you have to keep in mind while you're playing the game. And then finally, if you want to fly through any types of dialogue or anything like that, you want to put it on fast forward, and you'll usually be able to skip a lot of the voiceovers and certain cutscenes and whatnot by just using that feature. But that's going to be all for today's video. I hope you found this video helpful and informative. If you did, go ahead and smash that like button for me. Consider subbing so that you don't miss out on any more tips, tricks, guides, and everything else I got coming for this title. A lot more is in the works, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. It's your boy MSensei HD. For now though, let me go ahead and slide up out of here.